What is up, everybody? Deveney here from DeveneyInteractive, the hippest mom on all YouTube. And today we're going to be bringing you a pilot episode of What Would You Do? And I have a great guest with us today, Mr. FreedumFries. Mr. FreedumFries, would you like to introduce yourself and tell all these fine, fantastic people what the hell a What Would You Do is?
What's up, guys? It's FreedomFries here, and yes, we are interacting together again and starting this awesome new series of What Would You Do? It's not a What Would Jesus Do and it's all happy. It's just a little different spin-off of a Would You Rather, because instead of a Would You Rather, there's not two weird options. There's one, straightforward option, and it's pretty much getting down to the point of what you as an individual would do in that situation. So you have nothing else to choose from except from that one question asked to yourself. Now, if I may say one more thing, we're doing this from questions that we got from our friends for our pilot, episode of doing this, but we want you guys to interact with us on Twitter.
Interaction, baby!
Yeah, make sure you follow, Interactive, the hippest mom, all YouTube.
Yeah, baby!
Follow her on Twitter, and make sure you follow me on Twitter, and send us What Would You Do questions, so that way we can feature you and have you, our audience, a part of this awesome new series that I think is going to be great, and I think you guys are going to enjoy. This is going to be kind of a little bit of a short one, because we really just want to get the word out there on what we're doing, but we're going to have a couple for you that I think you guys will enjoy.
So what's your first one there, Freedom?
Alright, my first one for you is, and I'll answer myself after you're done, is, what would you do if a mom or a guy, whoever, made you an amazing meal? They spent hours cooking it, and you were like, ooh, I'm so excited. And you go there, they're done, and they put the plate in front of you, and the first bite is god awful. What would you do?
What would I do? I would, God, what would I do? see, here's the thing, because, you've put this scenario to where it's, in my house. So it's not like I'm in a restaurant, because if I'm in a restaurant, I'm going to send that shit back. You
better get the hell out of here. It just tastes like garbage.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that shit if it's in a restaurant. But if it was somebody in my house, say, here's a great example. My oldest son, when he was trying to learn how to cook spaghetti and stuff,
right?
He always does a meat sauce. So there were many times to where the meat sauce was not exactly cooked all the way through, and there were many times where the noodles were kind of a little bit al dente. They were a little bit
crunchy
hard. And so it's one of those things. But of course, as a mom, I'm like, this is the bestest thing I've ever friggin' ate.
I love you, son.
So, I love you. I can't wait to, eat some more. But the more he made it, the better he got. But yeah, that's the only recollection that I could have on that, is that I've been through that. My son made me some stuff, and we just kind of we got through it together.
Oh man, I remember one time. This was before I met my wonderful wife, Mrs. Fries, which you all should know, and follow her on Twitter as well because she's supportive. But I was dating this girl once, right? And I was into her. And I would go over to her house.
You were into her in what way? No, that's another story for another day.
My arm was around her. My mind was into her.
Okay. I was going to say, that's another story for another day.
But as you all know, if you don't, I have OCD, and I'm a clean freak. And I finally go to meet her mom and go to her house. And the first time I walked...
You're one of those with them, carpet friggin' swipes, right?
Yeah, dirtiness, dust. I don't like that. Your kitchen better be spotless if you want me to drink or eat out of one of your dishes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you better not come to my friggin' house. I have 2 teenage boys. Nothing is clean in my house.
I carry a Dixie cup and plate with me 24/7.
Wait till Layla gets about 16. Seriously.
Oh, man. So anyways, we go in there, and her mom was really cool. I mean, actually, her mom kind of reminded me of you in a way. So it's kind of funny because she's cooking this awesome homemade green chili, and it smells good. So as she goes to show me in the kitchen, I'm looking at the countertops, and it's just there's just nastiness all over the countertops and everything like that. So I'm like, oh boy, but I'm going to be a team sport because I like this girl, and I'm afraid. She gives me a plate.
You're afraid.
Oh, she gives. I was sweating bullets. Okay, you just couldn't tell. She gives me a plate, and I'll never forget it. She gets a bag of tortillas, And instead of just like laying the tortillas on the table, that was god awful dog hair everywhere. They had 2 bull mastiffs, so they were huge dogs. But instead of just laying the package of the actual tortilla on top of the table, she whips out 2 tortillas and just flops them on top of the table. And she goes, "Here you go, dip it in the green chili. It's delicious." And I'm just shaking in my boots, I'm like, oh my god. Kind of like, what's his face, Ben Stiller from Along Came Polly, because he has that irritable bowel syndrome. I'm sweating. And I'm like, okay.
Ben Stiller, wasn't he the one in like something about Mary where he has like the jizz in his fucking hair and shit?
Yeah, and Ben Stiller, Ben Stiller, and he's in Along Came Polly, and he has irritable bowel syndrome, and he's trying to be impressive to, what, Jennifer Aniston, because she takes him to Indian food, and of course he gets diarrhea. That's another story. But so I take a bite of it, and the green chili was good, but then as I pull it out, there's a bunch of dog hair on the tortilla, and I'll never forget it. And I just told her, I was like, ooh, boy. And my excuse was to get out of it was, ooh, man, this is spicy. Woo, this is spicy. Which is total bullshit, because I love spicy food. You should have
just told her you were, like, allergic to red dye number 40 or some shit.
And then that's when I get smacked upside the head. They'll be like, what the hell is red dye number 40?
There are some people out there allergic to red dye number 40. That means they can't eat nothing.
Oh, that's, could you imagine?
Because everything has red dye number 40.
It does. I mean, cookies that are dark and, like, black, like Oreo cookies, you'll think, oh, yeah, it's chocolate. No, guess what? Guess how those cookies got dark? Red dye
number 40?
Yeah, everything. So, if anybody's on red dye number 40, they're pretty much either dead or they're anorexic and they have no choice.
Oh, God, I wish I was anorexic, man. I would be, like, really, really fit and thin right now.
I have a shirt that says I kicked anorexia's ass.
I promise you, I'm very much not anorexic. Okay, I have a what would you do for you.
Okay, let's try and squeeze it in.
Okay, and this is from my youngest son. He's like, what would you do if you had to go to the bathroom, but there was no toilet around?
Okay, the first thing I would do is I would make sure if I was wearing either flippity flops with socks or shoes with socks. If I took a
gamer,
Adam, woo, yo boy, I would if I had to take a poo and there's nothing there, I wouldn't even care about digging a ditch. I would take off one of my socks. That's a good thing about flippity flops. I got sandals now, right?
Are those the Nike socks or the Adidas socks? See,
well, you gotta mix and match, because remember, the freaking Nike slippers, they're pieces of shit.
They're not good.
Yeah, they're awful. So you gotta have
Nike socks. So you gotta have the Nike socks and the Adidas flippity flops. Okay.
And you want to make sure the Nike swoosh goes with the grain when you wipe. Because if you do the opposite, you're gonna mess it all up.
No,
so
I'm sorry. You gotta do the swish with the grain?
Yeah, you want to go with the grain, and then you gotta flip the sock around so the other end of the swoosh will go against the grain. You know what I mean? And that's what I would do in that situation.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
See, I think men have that shit a whole hell of a lot easier than a woman. Because I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I ain't even going to lie. I ain't never had to, like, cobble squat out there in the middle of the friggin' woods. Because if it gets to that point, I'll drive 90 friggin' miles to a friggin', I mean, I'll hold it. I don't give a shit. I have taken a piss on a tree, though. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. I have taken that. But I will never, ever, ever... Well, I will never say never, because that's just horrible. But I have never, up until this point, taken a number 2 out in the middle of the friggin' woods.
Oh, man.
But if we're just talking about a number 1, though, I think like men have an advantage over women.
Oh, we do. We got a pipe to pinch. We got it way easy. We got a pipe to pinch.
See, because you never have to worry about peeing on your friggin' shoes. Seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to worry about that, because I have to like cobble squat. And
30-degree angle,
and you're trying to hit the tree and not hit your friggin' panties, because you know you're like your blue jeans and your panties and everything else, and you know that you had to like suck your gut in just to get into the friggin' blue jeans to begin with.
Yeah.
And so you're trying like desperately not to like pee on your friggin' damn shit. Seriously.
Well, I thought you weren't going shit.
But you're just trying desperately not to like pee on your clothes.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to pee on your panties.
Men have that shit easier. I ain't even gonna lie.
Oh,
you can pee up a friggin' flagpole. That's why y'all have an advantage and women do not.
Well, that's why you don't want to pee on your panties either, because you'll need something to wipe with if you're not wearing any socks, or something like that. You know what I mean? So if you pee on that, then you're like, damn.
But see, I just don't see me taking my boots off to pull my sock off to wipe myself. But see, that's one of the things when, like, you're a lady and stuff, like, what do you wipe with? Especially if you don't have nothing, what the hell do you wipe with? Because it's very important for a lady to wipe.
Oh, yeah, if you don't do that, some bad stuff can happen. You'll be having a date with Vagisil later in your future.
Vagisil. Goodness gracious. That's
well,
you talk the truth there, son. So
I grew up with 8 women.
Yes. So we're going to be wrapping this up because we were able to get 2 what would you do? Not
Yes.
would you rathers, what would you do? And I like what would you do because it gives you like a million friggin' like opportunities rather than like either or.
Yeah,
with
it's
the would
awesome.
you rather. I really do like it. So make sure that everybody's leaving a what would you do scenario down in the comments below. Freedom Fries, can you just like take us out of this?
Yes, no problem. So, yeah, like she said, leave it in the comment section. Or if you don't want to leave a comment, which we still encourage because we like to interact. I mean, come on now. That's what it's all about, right? Not about making money, about interacting. And the last thing you want to do is...
I don't make no money.
Yeah, exactly. We don't make money. We do this for fun to entertain. So make sure you also, I'm sure we'll have the links in the description to both of our Twitter accounts. Make sure you follow both of us on Twitter.
I'm going to even throw some flippity-floppity damn channel up in there. You don't even know. I mean, I might even do that.
There you go. And since we brought up Tryhard Gamer X, make sure you go check out his channel too. He's badass and he's funny as hell. So let's call it a night.
Thank you all for listening, and y'all have a great day.
Later.